Hey everyone, this is Dutch. Long time no see. I'm sorry, it's been a while. Just got a lot of things going on, so I thought I'd get on. Just some news. So I'm gonna go from last to first here. The big crowdfunding news is the second issue of the Wayfarer is coming out. Let me just double check something here real quick. All right, just had to do a mic check to make sure it was on. So issue 2, Normal Dose, is coming out of the Wayfarer soon. Just got my third cover artist, Shelby Robertson, who's doing ASM 300 homage. And as you see here is Amiya, so I'm going to sit and color this. But the other part of this video, number 2, is doing a TourBox review. So my Express keys on my Wacom 22 HD, this is a refurbished model. It's doing great, but I'm not certain if it's the Express keys that are causing an issue. Maybe there's kind of crossing wires, or it could just be that Wacom, when I downloaded them from my old laptop to my Mac Mini, whatever was wrong there came over. Because I've done wipes on this and reloaded everything, and I'm still getting the same issue. So I'm not certain if it's the Express keys or what. So I bought a TourBox, and you may have seen these commercials for them on Facebook or Instagram, talking about how they can help speed up your editing for videos and other things like that. I bought it originally because I thought I'd lost my Wacom Intuos tablet pen, and the pen costed $500, so I bought a Wacom One to take on the road with me, and I eventually found the pen. But bought the TourBox because it does not have Express keys on the Wacom One, and I like the features. There's some artists who don't like to use the buttons on the sides, the Express keys that are on the unit itself, and I do. So I thought I could use it for this, but because my laptop, my MacBook Air or MacBook is an older version, it's not compatible until I get a new one. So I decided to use it here on this and just have to use keyboard. I bought a Bluetooth keyboard for that. So that leads us then to number 1 of our session, which is this. Not the music. Let me just turn that down a bit. Oh, that's turning it off. Is coloring this variant. So this will be a variant cover, and I am, gobsmacked, of course, Shelby. So I'm trying to get this done, and I'll probably also do one of his other ones that he's done in inking on his stream this past week or weekend. So I'll probably quickly knock that out as well so I can get these over to him and get done. So on that note, let's turn off my ugly mug here. There's my ugly mug. I'm not certain how to turn off. It's been a while since I have done this. So let's just go to my layout. As you can see, my very messy desk, and I'm sorry I don't have my chat open. So let's see, comments. So I probably won't see those. So this will just be me talking. All right. So this is going to be a tutorial. A lot of times when I get flats, I get a lot of flats that have artwork that's been cleanly scanned in and not a lot of artifacting. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes if it's a hand-drawn image, it's going to pick up the grays from smudges from the that the artist may have made when they were erasing, or when they scanned it in, they didn't scan it in correctly, or they scanned it in, but they just missed some things. So he has a lot of grace images. Luckily with Shelby, and I know his process, that's not the case here. So with my action that I have set up, one of the first things we do is you have to click off the lock on the layer. I'm just making sure it's set to RGB color, which it is. I come to my action, and once I run it, it basically rips that, makes the background transparency, separates it out, locks it down so I don't sit and accidentally color on this layer for the line art, and then it creates a flat layer. So going to use the Wacom, the TourBox here, and just trying to get it set up. So I have it right now with my console set up for Photoshop, and I'm still trying to figure out a lot of things here, because the main ones I use for my Wacom itself, I'll show you those settings here. I'll go to the controller, and I just downloaded this new version of Photoshop or Mac OS, so the Wacom tablet. So for my Express keys for Photoshop, and I don't really have anything set up for Clip Studio yet, but I like to have all my main things, as I'm left-handed, so all my main stuff are that I grab from my undo to, or my grabbing of the deselect, so deselecting the images, eyedropper, option, lasso, shift, and wand are all on my right side. And so I've now imported that over to my TourBox here. So I'm still getting a little bit used to that. And so one of the things here is I've had that set to paint bucket. So I'm going to, TourBox is not activated. I don't know why it's not activated. It was activated just earlier. So sometimes that was a good thing. It brought up that message. So I have everything. So on the TourBox itself, it has a roller dial, one button. I wish it was a rocker switch button, because then I could easily rock her over and have one side, be an option and shift, because that's what I use when I'm doing making multiple selections, or going from a free lasso to a magnetic or poly line. But then I've got 4 buttons underneath the dial. I have not set up the dial yet. That would be great for using the resize brushes, especially if I'm in Clip Studio. That's what I'm thinking. So I'm just definitely right now trying it out. And on the side, it's got a button which I use for once I've selected my lasso, I can then come in and do what I'm doing here. So as you see, it's basically a magnetic, and then I can do a freehand as well. That just screws up everything. That's all right. I'll show you how to fix that. And one of the things that makes it easier with, as I've always said in all my other videos, is aim for the center of the line. And if it gets really thin like this one, because I'm going into here, so I'm going to quickly back up and go around it, and I'll show you how to take care of that as well. This little area, this thing here. But aim for the center, and if it gets really thin, you can just, aim for the edge. Now, a lot of things I'm doing here is I'm just doing this as one continuous line. As I'm flatting, you have the option in Photoshop to set it to add to selection. So, for example, if that one area I just made a mistake at, I could just, or if I just went down to where the tentacle was, I could have stopped, gone up, made another selection, and it would keep adding on. To deal with this little part here that I messed up on, I'm just going to hit my, I believe this is option, so I get my negative lasso, and I'm just going to cut it out. I think that was it. So here I'm hitting I think this is actually hitting Option. The other one was Shift, sorry. Hitting Option to get my plus lasso. Now I'm holding down the Shift key, and I'm just continue on. So this is what would happen if you had this set to add. It would just keep adding to the selection. I think that might actually be what's up there right now selected, but so I'm just dragging. So I've seen many artists, as well as some colorists, that actually do some of their flatting, and then, you know, of course, they get back to their flatter. But when they're making selections, do the add-on, and oh, so no, I have it. So I have it set to not, but this button here can continue to add. So that's what was happening when you're seeing me do the Shift Option. It selected that and kept going. So I'm just going to grab my paint bucket, make sure I'm on my flat layer. Oh, so I made a little mistake here. Let's go back to my lasso. I'm going to add that back in and just select that. We're good to go. Paint bucket, and then I'm going to deselect. Now what I'm checking for is little areas that I may have missed. That's because they're really thin lines, and let's quickly come back in. Fill that in. Some buttons I do have still set on my Express key on my left-hand side, so that was the fill button I used. And that really, oops, go away you. And that, let's gotta go back into Photoshop here, really helps. Because again, it's not the left-hand side buttons that I use a lot of, it's the right-hand ones. And that's why I think Wacom it's not working correctly. So I've got, so it's a little bit cumbersome using this TourBox, but it's nice. It's right here. So what is flatting? Flatting is just selecting colors. We do 90, flatters do 90% of the color work, I would say, in my honest opinion. And because the next stage of rendering, they just come in and, you know, again, they just gussy it up and make it look a little nicer. Oops, messed up there. So I'm oftentimes very amazed when I do talk to other professionals out there or comic owners, and they don't know what a flatter does. Or they just think that the colorist does it all, which I always get a good laugh and chuckle out of. I was just recently at WonderCon and talking to other professionals out there, and a lot of them, you know, just trying to meet and greet, sell my services as a flatter, and they were very interested because they didn't know that people actually did this. They just thought the colorists did it all. And there are some very talented colorists out there. You know, Marta Garcia is definitely one of those whom I've watched many YouTube videos on, and him doing that. And I apologize if I butchered your name, well, the first name I should say. But yeah, sometimes those methods don't work because you'll get an artist that I sometimes worked on, like with Adam Hughes, where they just have that indicator of hairline, or like even with Shelby's here on the Wayfarer. And like here, this piece here, I can go back in and, you know, add a little area so the hair color shows out, but I'll show you what that looks like here in a bit. So if you made a selection, you have to go back in and then start to manually move things around and figure things out and cut and add, and setting up stuff for so much more work. And oftentimes, you know, you have to be very, I don't want to say knowledgeable, but have your workflow figured out, which he obviously does. But there's others who, you know, they just need to go on and get to something else. They just been drawing for 20 hours straight, and now they just want to get on to having a life, seeing their family, because you know, they're probably thinking about what their next job is going to look like, that they've got to get that cover done, or those pages, so they can't sit and just worry about all the coloring. So what am I doing is I'm just dropping in, making some selectable colors. I'm trying to get it as accurate as possible, what I want, because this one is for me, and so Shelby will probably either keep with the original color scheme or up it a little bit. And I'm fine if he ups it, I don't really care. He's a fantastic colorist, so I trust in his ability. Yeah, so I'm really zoomed in super close, and I'm sorry for that. Usually I don't work that close, but I just want to show you what it's like. What I'm doing is just, again, aiming for the center, and I'm just easily going from freehand to magnetic. Big strokes. So this really helps because now it's the TourBox. Before, my hands get a little thumb crampy. It's nice, but I do have to oftentimes look down at my TourBox just to see where I'm at. Oh, so the music that you're hearing is by Pretzel, which is something used on Twitch. And obviously, no copyright issues. I'm going to be surprised, though, if I do get a copyright hit from this Indian guy. Doctor, for some reason, thinks that the music that's used by StreamYard's Countdown is his. So I've had to fight Facebook on that many times for copyright. So the best way I can say doing flatting is like looking at those mazes as a kid you get, or you can do now. I'm not judging you. At the diner, you just quickly finding your way through. And probably what I'm going to do as well with the stream, now that I'm coming back to doing this, is just doing what another artist does. Is she just works art crumbs, just works on her comic, and I'll probably just start doing that with the 5th issue of the Wayfarer. See the process, and so I'm getting that done. So I'm just noticing things that Shelby's put in here. I'm trying to hit all of them. Yeah, with single images like this, yeah, I can knock out a flat pretty quickly. You know, 18 minutes to 25. All right, so the one thing I need to do is I need to check and make sure I might change the color of that hood. I actually don't have a color set up here in Photoshop for that. It's all in Clip Studio. It's where I do a lot of my main coloring. So what I could do is just select the wand. Let's back out a bit so I can get the whole image. And let's see. Oh, it's too green. I don't want that. I think this is more what it's like. So, those watching, I don't know how long I've been doing this, but doesn't seem like long. I already got the main character knocked out. So another little tip is for the eyes and teeth, make them the same color. Why go and make another selection of gray for the eyes when you could just use that? All right, so here's what I was talking about here. So I'm just going to come in and quickly select that, fill it in. So now the hair gets some depth. Just looking her over. So since I think of this character like my kid, I don't do any not safe for work drawings, over explicit stuff, because I don't want to see that in my kid. She got an only, if they want to have an OnlyFans one day or whatever, like this one lady said, she's like, I explained to her parents on YouTube that what she does, and like, saw how much money they're making, like, well, as long as you're doing safe, whatever, that's cool. And there's nothing wrong with it, but this is my creation, my baby, and I don't want to see that for her, because it's kid related too, So this is an all ages book. This isn't just for adults. I think this is the right color. Again, this character, I created her. So if my kids ever wanted to cosplay as a character, they cosplay as her. Because they can see some representation of themselves. So there we go. I always do this box that Shelby adds in, and this pastel yellow. So I probably should do a teachable on flatting. Will put me out of a job? Maybe. I do think, though, that flatters, even those in the Philippines, need to be on the same page as their U.S. counterparts with what pricing is. Because, again, this is a pretty straightforward one, so getting paid $8 for it, fine, if that's what you feel you're worth. But when you're doing an actual comic book page and there's, say the scene is an old man sitting in his house, it's full of treasured items of his past, his, his ex-wife or his dead wife, and memories and things like that. And it's strewn full of like 50 or 60 items in there in just one panel, mind you, in one panel. And then the next page has got 20 items in it, and the one below it's got maybe 4, and then it's just got one in the next one. It's just him, and then it shows him outside, and it's 20 people outside, and dogs and cats, skyscrapers, and they live in a floating world where dirigibles are just everywhere. That's a lot of things to color, and for $8, that may be $8, could be $20 in whatever country, but $8 in America is not going to get you far. That's not going to get you a Happy Meal or a regular meal. Might get you a Happy Meal, but not a regular. Kind of shocked and surprised taking my daughter to get a burger at McDonald's, and it's $10 for it when just a few years ago it was $6. So I'm all for fair and equal pay. Heck, even and I do have to applaud Todd McFarlane. I bought the last, I don't know if it was Spawn, must have been Spawn, and I don't remember the issue, but it's just one that just really came out. I think it's one with the Batman on it. And I noticed that the colorists that they credited the Flatter. Flatter did the whole book. That's fantastic. I think Flatter should be credited if they touch the book. Even if the colorists, they did all neon pink, and that was just their one book that they did because the next colorist decided to not use them anymore because they're using all neon colors or missing things. Still end up on the book. I mean, that's what happens in movies. I mean, everybody down to the catering staff is credited. Now, do I want royalties from it? No. I just want to be credited. I just want my, name to show up, be credited on it. That's all. So, I mean, yeah, I do work for Hi-Fi, so when I see Hi-Fi, I say, hey, I'm part of the Hi-Fi team, and I've touched those pages. I feel good, a lot of pride, and when I talk to other artists who I've colored over, it's like, yeah, I'm part of Hi-Fi, and those are great pages. Here's the pages I worked on, or I've really admired their work, and they like our stuff. And I get credit from other artists when they use me. They may not get it in the book, but on their streams, just a shout out. Hey, this is the guy that does my flats. So yeah, what's going on with the writer's strike? I'm totally behind those guys. But I really wish the studios would hurry up because we can't afford, and there's also going to politics, another Donald Trump Big Brother reality TV shows. We had reality TV shows when I was growing up too. We had Solid Gold Dancers, Solid Gold, and a couple other things, and we also had real TV shows, and I can't handle more reality TV shows that are heavily edited. You find out later on, so they're actually kind of fake and scripted. All right. So that's a little bit too neon for me. Trying to choose the best colors here possible. And mine is set up so it's I'm using the typical CYMK printable colors. I will oftentimes go outside that boundary just because you might get a more dynamic color. So far this TourBox isn't too bad. I do need to make, like I said, some adjustments to it, and then definitely the big one is getting set up for clip, which I'm also kind of happy with, but not kind of happy with what they're doing. Actually, I don't like that orange. It's a little too, this is too much here. There we go. Select. Now just put the underside of the deck, which actually I'm going to zoom out. So I did not open up my chat screen, so I apologize if anybody's there talking or just joined and I can't see you. I apologize. But that is that. I think I like it. So quickly save. Now, I'm trying to get one other artist here to start saving in TIFF since he's doing his coloring in Photoshop. Photoshop, when you have a TIFF file, is not going to compress together, make it one layer. If I was to bring a TIFF file over from Photoshop into Clip Studio, and they have two separate layers, and then they compress down to one, it will be it'll merge together, and I have to gotta separate them out. So let's see. I'm getting a little message here from Mr. Robertson himself. So I'm going to, not certain what kind of gloves, but I will do is, they kind of look like gloves, Shelby. I'll be honest with you, but I wasn't certain. So and I'll keep the shade of color of the shirt the way it is, or the of her outfit, because it's gonna get, that's the ambient light color, natural, and then when you add your lights on it and everything else, it'll lighten up just a bit. I'm not certain. Maybe I'll break down. I don't do this often for everyone, but I'll probably do it for this. Is break down this part. Let's zoom down here. So the funny part is talking to another artist. I'm not certain if you're on or not, Doc, but when I was talking to you about how to do all this and selecting with your Wacom, it use multiple selections. Shelby Robertson is stalking me. But I'll quickly knock out those next one. But I'm adding a bit more. I'm just thinking if maybe this is what you want me to add to break down different artists that do different things. And this is screwed up there. All right, extreme close-up. Let's see a little distress here. So again, I'm just Shift, Option, multiple selections, and so I'm able to get everything done here. And I'm going a bit above and beyond here. Now the next flat I do, which is the one you just did this week, Shelby, that one I will definitely spend some time on. Look for some files. But overall, this TourBox isn't bad. It was like 173, I believe, or 150, and just have to get it set up for. There's my really extremely bad desktop. And I'm going to get rid of this file. And I think this is the one you were working on earlier. Yep. Now I've got Rage's stuff over here, but I don't have the rest. I think I've got those, but I don't want to go and pull too much Shelby stuff from the here. So I do apologize, Shelby. You're going to have to do some your color magic later on, adjusting it. I forgot the scout guy in front. Was he a red hat? Another guy's metal. He's got a green shirt. All right, I'll go pull it up here. Yep, this is where I keep everything. Probably what we'll do is we'll knock that off. Nope. Nope. Stop sharing just for the second here so I can give you some privacy. That's an interesting song. I have to like that so I can get these kind of music back. But Pretzel's a good one to download. You just need a Twitch account. You probably do, but if you don't, you get music that's playable for Twitch and for YouTube because it's free, or not free, but not copyrighted music. Copyrighted. All right, I'm just sitting here, folks, looking for a previous file that has these characters. I've got quite a few years to go through here. All right, that's not one. Where are they? I know you did a bunch of these guys last year. Maybe it's the year before. Here we go. All right, let's bring this back. All right. So I'm just gonna turn off the line art so I can quickly color pick. But same process, just checking RGB. There's my actions. Oh, that's my old one. That old one doesn't quite work with the new Photoshop, so. But on my Patreon, it does. So one of the things I saw Mario Garcia doing was just making his wand, selecting, probably not this, but selecting this, inverting, etc. But because we've got a lot of open lines here, let's get rid of that. I don't want this. Open lines here and here. That's not going to quite work, and then I have to sit and deselect those, and so I'll just sit and do my way here real quick. Oh, so we're just going to. I need to get this set up in the hotkey. But
do it! Just do it!
Let's see what comments look like. Yeah, so it's just playing. So that's the one thing with Pretzel, is just keep showing what your music looks like. All right, let's zoom in. I got quite a few flats due for you, Shelby, so I'll get those knocked out. All done this weekend. I've been doing some recoloring of pages for DC, which has been fun. It's better than this one job that I'm doing, which it's kind of tough. I'm one of those people that I don't quite know how to say something that doesn't sound disparaging, or it basically keeps sounding negative. So that's why I kind of not wanting to go there. But I tried to tell the hi-fi crew is like, if this artist needs these things inked, I also do digital inking. And I guess they didn't want to have an inker. They just wanted to use the pencils. So we're doing a lot of double work, which I don't want to do it. I'd rather do the recoloring of pages for old Batman, because they're fun, and I used to have those comics, and some other artists that I'm working on for. So I'll be heading to, I won't be at Fan Fusion this year. I'm really hoping that I'll be able to just show up Saturday and hang out with friends for dinner and stuff like that. Unfortunately, it was not financially feasible to do it. And I wanted to save my money because I'll be going to San Diego Comic-Con instead. To not only show my wares, I'll be giving away free issues, or free promo issue, I should say, of the Wayfarer. All 4 variant covers. The variant done by Shelby, the one that Shelby colored of mine that I drew, and then my other 2 covers I did, and handing those out. So handing out about 200 of them to anybody that will take them and give a read and get ready for the second Kickstarter. Oops, made a mistake there. So again, I'm just drawing. Basically, I'm just tracing over. And this also, I will tell you this method, rather than doing the continually add to selection, if you are also an aspiring artist, but you're also doing flats or whatever, this really helps with creating that endurance and stamina. And also helps you just get used to different art styles. There we go. I think that's why I'm able to, do a lot of my comic work, my own comic, because I'm just able to continually draw so long. There's verticality. So I'll also be showing off. I'm probably also going to do next stream a unboxing. I have comics that Kickstarters that I supported last year, and I haven't opened them yet. They've just been sitting here because I went to do an unboxing, and things have fortunately have happened, so I haven't had time to quite do that. And I never did fix that one section. I just screwed up that over here. So we'll fix that real quick. So because Shelby does such a great job with cleaning, I'm going to get the same continuous color over and over again. But if you ever notice that this color here, blue that I just dropped in, is too dark, and then you go to your wand and it's, I have my wand set for contiguous off, anti-alias off, and you see that, if I was say select this blue, and all of a sudden there's this little patch right here and it's darker, it's not appearing the same, picking up the same thing for the wand, then it means that the line art here has a little bit of smudge, gray. Maybe the eraser was missed. When it was scanned in, it picked it up. And you'll have to continuously turn off the line art layer, pick the right blue color, select the area that's the wrong color, fill it in. Or there's another method to adjust it even further with the levels, etc. For example, like right here with Shelby's, he's got it nice and clean, but oftentimes that's going to be an issue. Also, too, when you're picking a color doing this method, don't ever pick that, because you see it's going to pick up that bluish gray. I always pick from areas that are nice and open. Another tip is work back to front. 9 out of 10 times, that's going to help you. Comic pages may differ. You might have to figure out, if you've already done, say, Superman in panel 1, he's in panel 2, but there's an extreme background. It might be easier just to pick the colors from panel 1 and fill in Superman. Just do that. So like with Photoshop, there's multiple ways of doing things when you're flatting a comic. But I'm probably going slower than I normally do, because when I'm, as Shelby knows, talking and working. Now the only thing I have with the TourBox is I can't zoom in while it's there, because if I do, it's just going to end the selection like that, which isn't what I want. So in the Wacom, I can do that. I can zoom in while holding down. So I'm just adding that selection. Now the one thing I am interested in when I do San Diego is going to the Wacom area and maybe talking to them, maybe seeing about doing a demo myself. So I won't be exhibiting there. I'm just walking around as a pro, and I'm really zoomed in too much here. So how long's the stream been going on for? I have no idea. And that's the other thing too. You don't need to zoom in. You just need to zoom out just enough. And again, these thin lines just came along close to the edge as possible. And that's a little shortcut might teach later on what I'm doing there. Let's see, I'm going to choose a different lighter color green. I'm going to go in and drop that behind here. So I've been doing this recently for a lot of artists. Shelby is probably the first one I started doing it for because he requested it. And then I did that for, let's see, I missed something there. Mark Brooks on the Judgment Day cover. And then Scotty Young. I like to say Scotty. It's just kind of what I think of when I see working on his Stupid Fresh Mess panels, flatting those. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, I keep saying Scooty instead of Scotty. So, but I guess he'll be there at San Diego as well. So it'll be nice to meet in person. So what's making this go by a little tough is one, I'm talking. Two, I am typically when I flat, I put on a movie that I've seen a billion times, so my ADHD can focus on that. And I can turn away for a break for the special moments that I know. And I probably said that before, but it's true for me. I can watch or listen to Big Trouble in Little China, and I know exactly when to stop to look at the right scenes I want to see. Yeah, I need kind of messed up here. And it also gives me an indicator of how long I've been working on something. I think there's a name for it. They actually just came out. The reason why people watch movies like myself that watch movies that we've seen a lot of times because we have a certain expectation out of that movie. We know what's going to happen. So we watch a lot of feel-good movies or action movies that are fun, like another 48 Hours or Beverly Hills Cop, Thin or Quiet Man. This one I just finished watching. Can't watch an action movie like John Wick because I want to see all the action. All right, so I'm gonna grab his armor, and I'm going to change the color a bit. So I could have done this guy in the front, who reminds me of the scout from Team Fortress, because of the hat. And because I just saw somebody dressed as them at WonderCon. Like I could have easily done him. That would help break that down even more for me. So again, I just logged on StreamYard for the first time. I saw they have some new features here, so I could have invited people on and promote them to their stream, etc., which I thought was kind of cool. So now that summer break is coming up here, and when I don't have my daughter, you know, can always hop on, do a stream, and promote it to mine. And I'm gonna make this a little darker. So remember to hit that like button if you're on Facebook. Or not Facebook. Oh yeah, I guess there's a like button on Facebook or YouTube. Yeah, darkening just helped because I see a mistake I made here. I can quickly correct it. Yeah, so the image that I have on the other tab in Photoshop, that's from 2021. So that was back when I used a lot of desaturated colors, make more metallic looking, etc. And I've recently moved away from doing that. So I've been moving back into saturated colors and because I'm trying to learn different coloring methods. There's the hi-fi way, there's the ways I see Shelby do it, or Mark Brooks, or Adam Hughes. So I'm always learning new techniques. Yeah, so see here, I'm far over. So add a little saturation to it, or change the hue a bit. So even with these thin lines, I'm still trying to aim for the center of the line as much as possible. And this technique I do, I think a lot of you guys might just get a little exhausted having to hold down one button continuously until you got to the end. But again, your endurance will build up. And one thing I like about this TourBox is, again, I'm not having the issue I had before. So if I chose the lasso, it's not going to go to the wand, and I have to deselect things, and it's not short-circuiting. So what I'm doing here too is another technique, which is you've seen in a lot of YouTube videos where they will flat it all one color, like a base gray color, and then paint it in. Something similar, but now I'm just gonna, it's gonna help speed up that process so I can come back over here and quickly grab the thumbs. quickly break down. I just screwed up something there, but I'm going to add some splash of color in. And of course, Shelby can change this. Oh. Hello, Jay. Yeah, sorry, I don't have my chat screen up, folks, so I haven't done these streams in so long, I totally forgot how to do half these things. And when I came on, StreamYard had a whole new tutorial of how to set up things and new processes. So usually what I'm doing right now too is what I usually do at the end of my flatting is I go through and I visually inspect everything. I'm doing it here now just because I'm seeing them. Let's get out the extreme close-up. Oops. Ah, that's nice, Shelby. I like the little nod armor there. Be cool if it was like, Shelb 2.0 or armor. You guys fix that postscript. All right, so we got a hand here. Oh, let's see. Actually, this on my iPad, I do see you there. So thanks for joining, Jay Ryan. Appreciate it. Now I can see it. I just have to look over the side. So extreme close up. Let's see. So I haven't done his face breakdown yet, but also working the other theory, big, middle, small, when going from foreground to background. How long has the stream been going, Shelby? And you're eating ramen. Don't So if you missed it, Jay, I just finished doing my Wayfarer second issue flats that Shelby did for me for my next Wayfarer cover on ASM 300. And what I'm going to do here is another trick. I'm just going to do like they do in the movies. Oh, wait. I know it's not the rage color. Let's see. I'm just going to select all this and then flat them in, speed up my art flow. Yeah, once I'm done with this flat, I'll probably just be done for the night. So I'm testing out the TourBox as well, Jay, because my Wacom ExpressKeys are on the fritz a little bit. And this helps me speed things up. All right, so I've done the cardinal sin. I did not save. So with the TourBox controller, you can use it on multiple applications. So if I want to have it as something I can do video editing with, in Premiere, I can use it in Clip. I can use it in Photoshop. Different apps. Oops. You know what? I'm just gonna go and use this one. I know he's a different color, Shelby, so I apologize. I thought I had. It's been a while since I've worked on Rage. Since we're just doing that other comic the other day. So this is not a utility. What is it? Unitasker. I think that's what Alton Brown always used to say. TourBox, you can use it for multiple applications. It was inexpensive. I got the wired version, and I kind of wish I got the wireless. So when I eventually do upgrade my laptop, I may just get another one and have it as a wireless. Oops. And I'm hoping in the coming months I'll be really busy with flatting as well as doing a coloring gig. So definitely trying to get some changes happening. Oh, damn it. Let's see. You're eating ramen and having a juicy pork bun. That sounds delicious. All right, raise his arms. Okay, it sounds like we're at church right now in Pretzel. That or it's the music from Excalibur. It sounds like opera, which I don't mind opera, but for a stream, that's not gonna quite work. Let's see what we got here. Meditation. Let's move on to the next one. All right, now you guys are making me hungry. My teenager has eaten me out of all the ice cream that we had and other tasty treats. Might have to go get myself a bowl of Fruity Pebbles with marshmallows just to to eat after the stream here. Today's Saturday, right? So usually I'd be watching Toonami, but they're not playing anything good. Okay, I don't see anything there. Let's change that sword color. Yeah, I don't have the ducks like Shelby does. Or any interesting gifts. I did add that Shia LaBeouf one though. So yeah, so I set up something here for yours, Shelby, but I totally forgot not how they'll go range. I think I have them labeled, but yeah, sword hilt, knee, gloves. That's the uniform color there. So that's what I said. Head, scarf. Don't I have one for your eyes, dude? Nope. All right, I thought I saw something for the leg here. There's foot. Oh, please. Remember the branding. It's Dutch. Gotta keep the brand up, man. I'm like Batman. Even when he's Bruce Wayne, he's still Batman. All right, so I don't know the colors for the guy in front. I know I've got him somewhere, but you're going to have to change that in the next, I'll get this done in 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes here, so you'll get it soon. You can make the adjustments. All right. Eight pages an hour? Yeah, that is true. I have known to knock out quite a few of your pages in that short a time. The only thing I'm not liking about this new Photoshop is this, I don't know if you see it on the screen, but I've got this arrow up and down. It doesn't appear all the time, so I'm not certain if that's a TourBox thing or if it is a Photoshop thing when you use the lasso. Whatever it is, it sucks. But since the stream has started, this is, almost done with the second flat, so 2 flats done. and I've got I think 5 more to do. So on that one, I'll definitely knock off the stream and then get those knocked out quickly after my bowl of Fruity Pebbles. I should have continued on to the arm. I saw that here. So I don't watch a lot of horror movies, but how was the last Scream movie? Was that any good? Oh, it does to you too? Mm. Oh, don't worry about the book for Phoenix, man. I still have to get my video stuff together for the Kickstarter. I'm not doing Phoenix, like I said. So if you can get it done, I don't think the Kickstarter is going to go until mid-June. That's cool. I'm glad to have the image so I can have it there as just a promo, as a holder for the crowdfunding, because I still have to decide if I want to do it on Kickstarter again or Indiegogo. It all depends on what's going on with the debt ceiling thing. That's the whole issue. I feel another Albuquerque when I went to Albuquerque, and that's when they had that first set of furloughs, and all the federal folks that showed up were like, "Hey, I got money. I would have had money if they only paid me," and everybody was basically clearing out of there early. Yeah, I just have one more artist to talk to see where he's at. He's dealing with some personal issues with his family, so I'm not trying to push it too much. But once I get his, then I just need to figure out how to set up for unlocking golds. Or stretch golds. But yeah, I'll have all these files to you tonight. The new screen was okay, Jay? Oh, that's good, because it's in my queue, and I'm not certain if I want to watch it or not. Yeah, I agree with you on Phoenix. As soon as I kept adding on more and more A-listers, it explains the ticket prices, because I was going to go Saturday just as a fan, I guess, see everybody, and then get my Doctor Who autograph. And when I saw the price for that Saturday ticket, I was gobsmacked. I was at WonderCon, which everybody goes to, and I don't even think their Saturday pass price was that high, as well as San Diego. Yeah, you can see that, but for others, they weren't that high. And I said nope, because by the time I got done with adding the photo op autograph, I could have just gotten the booth and shown up there and paid an arm and leg. So I'm just not certain. Yeah, sorry if this backpack isn't what you want, but I will break it down so you can grab these different sections. Yeah, I don't think you showed the other ones that you did on in your stream, so that's why I'm not going to show those, and I'll just knock off here and finish those off stream. All right, last part is the glowy fist. I totally forgot Comic-Con Revolution was this weekend. That'd have been a fun one to go to. I haven't done one of those in a while. Not a lot of shows I've done this year. Well, I've only done 2. Oh, sorry, no, I've only done 1. April, she says she's not doing it because, well, project manager for what they're doing for the Ethereal. And I guess the cost too was a bit too exorbitant for that. You know, they could do other shows like Vegas and stuff. So I don't think she'll be here. I do know in one post that I was on my post on Facebook, she was trying to hit you up for doing some cover artwork, so you may want to talk to her about that. I guess that's what she mentioned to Elizabeth. So, all right. So that is that. Let's make this a little darker. These are like all cover music, cover bands. All right, last thing to do is this guy. Oh, extreme close up. He kind of looks like you, man. Is this really you? Like, you just looked in the mirror and took a picture, or took, with your camera phone, took a picture, enlarged it, stretched it out. Because he got a beanie, Is this you hulking out? This is what swole Shelby would look like. All right, well, we're done. I'm gonna say the review for the TourBox is pretty damn good. I've only been using this is probably like my 5th time using it. I'm starting to get used to controls. So now it's not even me looking down anymore at my hand to see what's happening. So I definitely would recommend this if you're trying to speed up, and again, you're going to use other things. So the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look through, see if any mistakes I've missed. I do this with every artist I work for and colorist. especially ones that are great to work with, great line art, because then I can also then look and see what they're doing and catch up on see what I can swipe myself. The technique, I should say. Like all this hatching, I gotta start trying to do this now. And Tampa Bay Comic-Con. I didn't know they did one, Jay. That's I want to do MegaCon and do exactly like you're mentioning, which is just rub elbows, etc. That's what I'll be doing at San Diego when I go, is to rub elbows and talk with my peers. Just have to get it paid off. And of course, get some more work from it. All right, so I'm thinking everything here looks nice. Not seeing any more missing except for right here. See a little blue peeking through there. But yeah, so I'm going to probably call the end of the stream here. This is what all came out. Took an hour. That's usually longer than normal. Normally I would knock this out within, for this one, with these 4, I would have taken a half hour, but because I'm talking and explaining and doing other things, gotta remember to save. Don't save that one. All right, so Shelby, I'll be knocking these over to you here in just a moment. Hey, you never miss elbow day, okay? Elbow day, you gotta get that little elbow crease in the back so it's nice and tight. Looks good. But it's definitely got to work the guns. The guns are the things you have to work on because you gotta get that vein popping. Because man, I'll tell you, that vein popping when you go to the nurse to get your blood drawn or whatever, that's porn to them, man. That's porn. Seeing that vein pop out, that's. I've even had a doctor actually tell me that was porn for them. You just coughed and tasted the ramen flavor. Yes, exactly. You need to get so it's nice and tight, not wrinkly skin. You can't have it look like some old man stuff. Gotta look young. Like I just who is it? Trevor Grace doesn't believe how old I am, and he just calls me a vampire now because he got surprised that I was 25 with 27 years experience. So, but thanks everyone for joining. I'm gonna knock off the stream here, but the TourBox, if you do get it and you do editing videos too, and use multiple applications from Photoshop, Clip Studio, it works. The wired is not too bad. I might try the wireless, like I said, later on. That might work. Definitely, though, this is it. Appreciate everybody for joining on. Stay tuned. Like I said, I'll probably do another stream here shortly this weekend or next weekend, since my daughter's done with school this week. Probably Thursday I might do it. A little unboxing. They have like 4 Kickstarters here that I need to unbox, so I'll probably just do that. So thanks, guys. Shelby, catching the flip side. Jay Ryan, you too. Thanks again. Have a great night, guys.